Hi, this is Phil Leach. Firstly, I want to say how grateful I am to you for being willing to work with us in seeing this material translated. In this set of videos, what I want to do is to try and make it easy, straightforward to you to understand how to edit these things in Moodle. Like all software programs, once you know a few things, it's really not that difficult. So, firstly, in this first video, I want to just introduce you to the basic interface here. In the language of the online SBS, we have broken the course into modules. The field-based SBS, one module is equivalent to a month or 4 weeks of the residential SBS, but the ESBS has been divided into smaller units to serve busy working people as it's designed for the wider body of Christ. And so what we do is we have modules, and then that comes down into units, and a unit is basically a book. Each book is a unit, and of course the first unit is introducing people to inductive Bible study. And as you look at the unit screen here, you'll find that we have the logo, and then we have the introduction to the unit at the top, and then lessons, and each aspect is broken up into lessons. In other Moodle interface it would be topics, but I've had it changed to lessons. And so each lesson has an introduction, and I like to have just a little bit of clip art or a picture or something that lightens up the page. I think it makes it more interesting. And then after the introduction, which of course is here, we then have the actual lesson material itself. And so lesson 1 here, the basics of inductive Bible study, there's an introduction, and then we have introduction to the course, the approach and method, and then a teaching on possible approaches to the Bible. And then we go on to lesson 2. Now, the thing that's important is, as a translator who's editing, you have to have this particular button here, turn editing on. If you don't have that, that means you don't have the right permissions, and I need to increase your permissions so that you're able to have this. This is the magic button. You press that, and then you get the editing commands that appear. And so at the introductions, there's underneath this introduction, there's this little hand with a pencil, and when you click that, that will get you into the editing mode. The same here for the introduction of each lessons. You find the little hand with a pencil, and then for the actual lesson material, you'll find there's a number of editing options. One here is just to edit the title. Another is to move it inwards to the right. This one here enables you to move this lesson really anywhere in the course. You right click the mouse and hold it, or left click the mouse, I can't remember. But this is the one that you really want to know about. That is the update. What this does is this duplicates this lesson. So this may be helpful for you, especially if the graphics are concerned. We'll talk about that in another lesson. You can actually duplicate this, then you can work on one and then delete the duplicated one. It just means that you keep the graphics and you keep things if you need them. This little cross here, that deletes it. This here hides it, so it keeps it, but the students won't be able to see it. And this here assigns specific roles to this particular lesson, and this is not something that you will need to use. So really, of all these commands, the one that is most important for you is this particular update. And so when we click on the editing of the title or the introduction, you come into this editing screen, and it's got commands like you'll probably be familiar with. It's a bit like a word processor. You have various commands here for adding an image, for justification, for setting the characteristics of the text, the size of the font, the kind of font, and so on and so forth. All this, I think, is fairly straightforward. But of course, you do need to block things first, and then you can change the fonts. And then at the end, you save your changes as you would expect. Just a word about the different lessons. There's something just a little bit different with these. In many ways it's very similar. You click on the little hand with a pencil to edit, and the red titles with the star means that these are requirements, and so you do need to have the title and the description, and these of course will be translated, and then you get the actual content of the page, which is in this one here. And as with the other, you can return to the course all, save it, and see what you've done immediately. And so this is just a straightforward introduction, basic introduction to the Moodle screen here.